This is the photograph of the two gentlemen from Gay Head. Deacon Thomas Jeffers is on the left in the photo, and Aaron Cooper on the right. Deacon Thomas Jeffers was born in Gay Head on September 15th in 1825 or 1826. He was the grandson of the elder Thomas Jeffers, who was from Middleborough, most likely a Damascus Indian, born around 1742. Elder Thomas Jeffers married his second wife, Sarah Ash, or Asher, who was a Mashpee Wampanoag, born in 1753, and they had two children, Amos and Alice. Amos was born on November 4th, 1785 in Middleborough. Elder Thomas Jeffers and Sarah moved to Martha's Vineyard about 1798. He was an Indian pastor and had 5 acres which he farmed at Big Cooch Pond in Gay Head. Amos married his first wife, Bethia Cooper, on January 15, 1806, with his son Thomas being one of 9 children. Amos married his second wife, Bathsheba R. Cooch Haskins, in 1849. Bathsheba, was known as Bashi, was the weaver of beach grass baskets, utilizing the tall beach grass on the Gay Head beaches that I spoke of earlier. I did not realize the connection between these people, that Bashi was the second wife of Deacon Thomas Jeffers, until I began doing some research to record these pieces. It was a very interesting surprise, and it is a small world. Bashi died just 4 years later in May of 1853 at the age of 60. Deacon Thomas Jeffers, at the age of 15, took out his seaman's protection papers in October of 1840. He became a whaler, going out on 6 voyages and circling the globe twice. He was on the crew of the Splendid, which went to California during the gold rush in 1842. When he returned home, he married Lucina James on April 12, 1852. He became a deacon of the church, and by 1859 owned and farmed 7 acres of land. He and Lucina had 5 children. Between 1863 and 1864, he served as selectman. At this time, Gay Head was still an Indian district or a reservation, but the community operated with a town-like structure. He also served as a clerk and treasurer at this time, prior to Gay Head's incorporation as a town in 1870. He did vote in favor of enfranchisement at a proprietors' meeting in 1869. Gay Head owned large tracts of public land that included grassland from which hay was harvested, pasture lands that were rented out, and clay deposits from the cliffs that were being developed to be sold. Deacon Jeffers managed all of this in his duties, as well as choosing locations for planting fields. This was all a combination of grappling with the imposition of colonial processes and a money economy, with efforts to maintain ancient ways of life and land. It strikes me that the planting fields may have been used to plant our traditional corn, which was done into the mid-20th century. Aaron Cooper was born on August 14, 1791. He, like Deacon Jeffers and many, many other Gay Head men, became a whaler. He shipped out on 5 voyages between 1820 and 1833. In 1817, he married Abia Cooper, and they had 3 children together. He became a teacher in the Gay Head one-room school in 1823. And like Deacon Jeffers, he was involved in the business of the Gay Head Indian District, being an overseer and signing a number of petitions put forth by the Gay Head community to the Senate and the House of Representatives. In 1855, Aaron, along with Zacchaeus Hawaswi and Samuel Peters, signed a petition requesting a commissioner to conduct a boundary survey. The boundary between Chilmark and the Indian lands of Gay Head was under constant encroachment by the non-native people of Chilmark. Author Edward Burgess, in his 1926 booklet Old South Road, reports that Aaron was a highly respected and knowledgeable elder. On Sundays, he would often go up to the life-saving station, which preceded the Gay Head Lighthouse, and talk to the men there about the old folks. Aaron Cooper died in May of 1854. His old house still stands on State Road in Gay Head opposite the lower end of Moshop's Trail. It has not been lived in decades and is now overgrown with brush and barely visible from the road. It is very sad to see history in that state. Both Deacon Jeffers and Aaron Cooper held positions when Gay Head was a district, which is another word for reservation. They both worked to protect and maintain Gay Head from further effects of the colonial processes to be able to keep our lands and old ways of life.